What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the fourth mixtape by the UK singer, songwriter, star Charli XCX. It's called Pop 2. It's the second mixtape that she released in 2017, following number 1, Angel. So obviously the numbers make sense here. Charli XCX has had a variety of different sounds in the past. I loved her first album, more particularly her second album, Sucker. That's where I really felt like she was just coming into her own, doing something different than a lot of other pop artists were doing. But at the same time, I understood that she wanted to do other things. She's been working closely with the collective PC Music, like its founders A.G. Cook. Obviously, Sophie has been a big influence in her sound as well. This whole futuristic, progressive, very electronic, bubblegummy, dark, bassy, almost trappy kind of pop. It's a fusion of a lot of different sounds, and it comes across very polarizing and to very mixed results, at least up to this point. I was surprised to see another project come so soon from Charli XCX. This is, like I said, her second mixtape of the year, her fourth overall. She only actually has 2 studio albums, but I did see the features list, and it gave me a glimmer of hope because it was like, there are some great names here. Carly Rae Jepsen, Caroline Polachek from, or I should say formerly of Chairlift, and then you've got somebody who is kind of an off-the-wall figure, but you never know what she's gonna do, so it could go one way or the other. Cupcake. It was a variety of different people, and I was intrigued to say the least. Out of My Head was released as the lead-off single. It features Tovlo and Alma, and I do feel like it almost feels like more of a Tovlo track. It's interesting the way that it flows, but it's a bit too repetitive, and I understand that pop definitely wants to drill that chorus and that hook and those few words into you, but this just started to show the problem that was really going to reveal itself later on. There's so many weak hooks here, and the overuse of auto-tune is just almost too explicit. It makes itself so prominent that you can't peel back and see Charli's expressiveness behind it. It just kind of masks her, and you're like, what are we left with? I went into this mixtape with kind of a hopeful sentiment, thinking, okay, maybe she's gonna be able to stir up some of that magic that she created in the past. Her and her producers definitely have a knack, but like I said, kind of hit and miss. And there are some songs that really do hit the mark here. Songs like Lucky that are just really well done. The chorus sticks, the keys almost feel a bit theatric in the way that they remind me of the 80s and this futuristic sound at the same time, and the way that they're able to play off of obviously the feature here, which is Caroline from Chairlift. It's a very interesting track, and it is one of the better ones here. Porsche is another song that's simplistic enough, but does kind of get the job done. She's obviously fantasizing about this Porsche on the track, and her voice is more restrained. The production is a little bit less wonky because some of these tunes, as her past mixtapes have, they've just been a little bit all over the place, a little bit out of control thanks to the production of PC Music, and I understand that a lot of people like that. It's just that for me, sometimes there needs to be a little bit more structure. You can see the problems popping up all throughout, but the thing is that I like aspects of some of these tracks, like Backseat. Carly Rae Jepsen definitely does a great job on her verse. I think I got it, despite the fact that it has an agonizing chorus. I like the verses a whole lot. Charli XCX rapping, actually pretty damn cool. And that thumping, thundering bass and the way that it almost feels like a pulsating sampled guitar that's looped all throughout, and then Cupcake coming in, actually spitting some fire on her verse. Altogether, a fantastic track. I even like Brooke Candy on this one. Altogether, kind of a banger, and I'd be lying if I said I couldn't tune out the chorus. Even the chorus, it's annoying and all. I don't know, I'm kind of okay with it. However, stuff like Femmebot, which just tries to be so bubblegum poppy and get inside your head with its loop and repetitiveness, you would think it would be something that would be right up my alley, but it's not. The rap feature here feels so out of place, and so do many of the features here. There's so many features, so much auto-tune, yet so little time. It's all packed into 40 minutes, and I feel like we're left to cherry pick songs off, almost like it was a playlist where she said, you can skip them if you don't like them. Delicious squanders its hook potential because the song is effervescent enough to really translate into it getting stuck in your head, but Tommy Cash, I don't know who that person is. I don't feel like they added anything to the song with the rapping and kind of repeating what she was already saying. It just felt like, hey, let's get somebody up, because the majority of these tracks have a feature on them. Track 10 starts off with this weird kind of sample and beating around with the instrumental before getting into it, and it once again gets dragged down into that repetitive nature. And then something like Lucky, another solo track right there, is auto-tuned to hell, and I just can't feel anything. I feel like it's supposed to be one that leans towards preying on emotions, but I don't feel anything because it's so covered up and bogged down into the mix that you could get it from anyone. The best songs here to me are the opening track, Backseat, with Carly Rae. That one, obviously Carly Rae does a great job, very catchy, but I can't stand the chorus on it, the all alone, and the pitch shifting and everything like that. But it does kind of have a cool, like, wobbling bass and electronic breakdown, shimmering keys towards the end, which is pretty cool if you can get past the fact that she just keeps repeating all alone and it gets very nails on a chalkboard like. I also do really enjoy I Got It. Banger right there. Porsche is definitely some serviceable pop that does get into very enjoyable territory. And I suppose Femmebot definitely has an okay quality. I won't say that I'm really one way or the other on tracks like that. And then obviously Tears with Caroline Polachek is pretty enjoyable overall as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. For me personally, I'm going to give this a light 2.5 out of 5. Of course, that's just my opinion. I wasn't that into Number One Angel, and unfortunately, I'm not that into this either. But like I said, we'll have to see what her album holds next year. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're able to support me on Patreon, it's that annotation over in the corner, and leave a like on the video while you're here. If you would like to see my Number One Angel review, you can click that right over here, or another recent pop review from the channel right over here. Socials in the description, and I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.